Okay, yeah, welcome, Peaceful. How are you?
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, okay. So I think we can get started right away, and people will just join us along the way.
All right, Ma.
Okay, thank you. So, um, basically, we're here to talk about how mental workout plays a vital role on our well-being as women. And we have with us here Peaceful, who is a mental, um, who is a mind management expert, and she'll be joining us in this conversation. So before we start, I would just love to give a brief introduction on who our guest is. And our guest is, hold on, please. Okay, so our guest is Peaceful Brown Enyogu, and she's a mind management expert who is deeply committed to helping others unlock and harness their power, the power of their minds, to transform their lives and make a meaningful impact in the world. And her passion lies in inspiring children and young adults to recognize their potential and embrace the mental empowerment as a tool for growth and change. She's actively involved in programs that have to do with mind management programming conferences, and she hosts outreaches in schools across the nation. And her focal topic is basically to equip young minds with the tools necessary to achieve greatness. And her philosophy is that she's anchored in Christ's teachings and principles, and she's dedicated to living a life that uplifts and inspires those around her. So, Peaceful, you are highly welcome to today's Instagram live session, and it's great
Thank
to
you.
have you here with us today.
It's an honor, Ma. I'm really privileged. Really, really privileged. Thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome. So let's get right into our conversation. So when we talk about mental workouts, can you just walk us through first? What do you do as a mind management expert?
Okay. Okay. As a mind management expert, can you? Okay. Beautiful. Sorry about that. As a mind management expert, what I do is most times I engage in counseling sessions and I help people understand themselves better, to make decisions. I also empower, like you rightly said, I'm very passionate about young people. I know how much they can accomplish if they could just get to understand and utilize the power of their minds. So I let them know and understand, first of all, their composition and how their mind works. So because before you can take advantage of something, you have to be able to know how it works. So I enlighten people on how their mind works and then give them tips on how to, manage their minds, develop their minds through engaging in mental dieting and mental workouts, and also digesting the right contents in order to produce the result they want for a productive and successful life.
Okay. So when you say mental workout, can you walk us through what mental workout is? Just tell us what it is about.
Okay, mental workouts are actually exercises. If I'm to give an illustration, we are very much aware of physical workouts and how they work. I think that's more relatable.
Mm,
And if you're to understand what workouts are about, they are to achieve a particular goal, which is for fitness sake. So in the same way, mental workouts are exercises that are specifically designed for the purpose of building focus and building your memory, building grit, emotional resilience. Because from the mind, you're able to control. If you're able to manage your mind properly, you can control and direct your emotions. So mental workouts actually help to build emotional resilience. These are exercises specifically designed for that purpose, to build focus and build your memory, build emotional resilience, and also it helps to reduce stress and increase effectiveness as you go through your work, as you go through your life, rather.
Okay. So now, based on what you said, comparing it with physical workouts, like when it comes to physical workouts, I think it's something we're all familiar with. In fact, in all honesty, I first heard about mental workouts when you mentioned it in the community, and it really struck me. Like I really didn't have an idea what mental workouts entails. So when why is mental workouts important for us as women, basically?
Okay. I'll use an illustration because, as much as yes, since we are looking at an audience of women, I'll use an illustration. Usually, if you're a musician, like I sing. So, if you're a musician and you want to sing, you have to, for you to have clear, clear vocals while you sing, you have to engage in exercises that help to clear up your vocal cords, and you can focus on specific areas that help with your agility and your wrist runs, all of that. But if you do not engage in exercises, like for example, something as basic as warm-ups, you end up straining your vocal cords, and at the end of the day, you could ruin your voice. The same thing goes for mental workouts. Not engaging in these things, in mental workouts, can actually affect how you approach life, especially if you're someone who, like for example, as a woman, you're a mom, you're you're a wife, so you're also a career-oriented person. So you have so many things you're trying to juggle. The women of our generation, we actually do a lot more.
Yeah.
Apart from just, we're also looking at that, building ourselves personally and in our careers. So you need to be able to understand how to create that balance in your mind. And if I'm to reiterate, one of the advantages, I think we're going to talk about that much later, but one of the advantages of mental workouts is that it helps you to reduce stress. And if you're engaging in a lot of things, you face a lot of challenges. And this is very, very likely to boost the hormone which causes stress. So if you're engaging in mental workout, what it does is it reduces the level of this particular hormone, which is the cortisol hormone. It helps the cortisol levels. It helps to reduce it in order for you to be less stressed. So as you engage in mental workouts, it creates a resistance. So even if stress comes, you're able to withstand it better than someone who doesn't engage in mental workouts. And also, one of our very important things, it helps you in the long run. As a lady, engage. For example, there's something that happens to every lady. We have this hormonal imbalance sometimes as a result of stress, some as a result of menopause. And even personally, I'm not a mother, but I can say that I experience it sometimes during menstrual periods, during the menstrual cycles. So experiencing that, if you engage in mental workouts, it goes a long way, because in mental workouts you're able to control and regulate your emotions. And most times there's something ladies call mood swings. Honestly, I believe that is you can actually control that, even if you're on your period, as long as you're engaging in mental workouts, because you become more aware of yourself, you become more aware of your emotions, so you can take charge, even though you are experiencing those hormonal imbalances.
Okay.
Sorry, Ma.
So now that you've shared with us why it's important, can you just tell us what are these mental workouts? Are they the same thing as relax? I know I've heard of relaxation techniques, meditation, yoga, all those things. So can you just give us practical examples of these mental workouts? What are they, and how frequently should we practice it as women?
Okay. Mental workouts. Some practical mental workouts are, personally, I'm going to share what I do, because I cannot share anything beyond what I have not practiced.
Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, we have, in mental workouts, we have different categories. There are areas that actually, we have areas that actually, we have different 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 areas that actually, we have diff focus on your cognition. When I mean cognition, memory, focus, grit, resilience, and all of that. So there are exercises that focus basically on that. And I believe that the exercises vary from person to person. It's not something I would share my own work plan with you and it would work for you. It may work for you if we have similar hobbies, similar likes, maybe we have similar character traits. It probably could work for you. But if you're someone that is completely different, it wouldn't work for you. Why? Let me give an illustration. Like, for example, a mental workout I love arithmetics a lot, mathematical arithmetics, and I engage in complex multiplications, complex mathematical problems. So that this is what it helps to boost my ability to solve problems. It's part of cognitive functions, cognitive ability. So I engage in arithmetics. Like if you're someone that doesn't really like mathematics, I can't tell you to engage in multiplication tables. So the other alternative could be storytelling. I'll be very honest. When I was growing up, I love to share this story. When I was growing up, I and my younger brother, there's something we do. We come up with stories. And as each person comes up with the first part of the story, the next person continues it. And we keep rotating it around. And before you know, we come up with a very elaborate story. So what this helps you to do is boost memory. Why? You're connecting the dots. You're connecting the dots. As each person is given, you're recording it at the back of your mind, and you're thinking of, okay, what can follow? So it's a constant, majorly, you're constantly engaging your mind. That's what mental workouts do, a constant engaging of the mind. So storytelling does help for those who are not very arithmetic inclined. Storytelling can help. And then there's this other exercise that we do called backward spelling. For example, you want to spell house. Instead of spelling it O-U-S-E, you spell E-S-U-O-H. So it actually helps to rewire the brain. One of the very, very importance of mental workout is the fact that it helps you to adapt easily. The brain has what we call neuroplasticity, the ability for it to change and adapt easily. So you engaging in these workouts can actually rewire your mind, rewire your neural networks. So when you engage in those kind of, like for example, the backward spelling, it helps you, it does the rewiring. So you're able to, like for example, let's bring it into a real life situation. You can, depending on the challenge you are facing, no matter how the outcome is, you are able to think of a way around it. Why? Because you've been boosting yourself mentally through this little workout. It may seem little, but it's actually doing something. There's this other one I do, reverse. When I mean reverse, for example, I'm a right-handed person, but this was inspired to me by my very special friend, and he said, make use of your left hand instead. So when I'm brushing my teeth, you can incorporate it in your daily workout, in your daily routines. When you're brushing your teeth, instead of using your right hand, use your left hand. It's doing something to your brain. It's doing something to your mind.
What's the effect of doing that?
Okay. It helps you learn faster. It actually boosts your learning capability, your ability to adapt. It creates neural networks, new neural networks. Like for every new thing you do, with consistency, a network is created and it is strengthened as you continue. So you're actually training your brain to try new things. So you're not limited to a particular pattern. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
So it actually helped me a lot because I realized my hands became more flexible. I also got this logic that it actually helps the right side of your brain. It actually helps the right side of your brain. So engaging in these exercises are very, very important. I'm going to give one extra example that has really helped my life. It's called meditation and talking sessions. Meditation in this sense is not the regular, I'm just sitting and I'm just clearing my mind, the usual. This is what it's called mindful meditation, where you're actually focusing your thoughts on something. Let's say, for example, so for some persons, if there's really nothing to focus on, they focus on their breathing. But I'm not a fan of that, though it's very helpful because breathing exercises are very important and are actually part of your mental, helps in mental exercises. But what I'm talking about is focusing on a particular topic. As you focus on it, like what I'll just maybe use an example. Like I said, a lot of things are grounded on my belief in Christ and the Word of God. So sometimes maybe there's a concept from the scripture that came to mind in the place of meditation. As it's in the mind, you begin to more scriptures begin to come in, and then you begin to have understanding in different light. What you're doing, you're focusing your mind on a particular topic, so that if your mind drifts, you bring yourself back. It's training. And what do you do? It enhances focus.
Wow.
Most of the times, as women, we are very, very prone to multitasking. We do a lot of things all the time. It's unavoidable. But with this kind of exercises, it helps you build focus still, even though you are a multitasking woman. But you're able to build focus. So as you focus, maybe you're focusing on a particular topic. It could even be an area that is related to your field. Like what when we are building or developing, I'm into, from time to time, I'm into software development. So when we're into software development, I sit down with that particular idea, and I'm meditating, thinking on different angles on how it can work. So this is mindful. What you're doing is mindful meditation. You're focusing in a particular direction. Now, this is where mental diet comes in. I will never speak about mental workout without talking about mental dieting. Though mental dieting is an elaborate topic on its own, but this also affects how the outcome of your workout will it be effective. Because mental workouts do not just on its own produce that mental fitness you're looking for, or that well-being, mental well-being you're looking for. It has other factors, and one of the factors is mental dieting. So mental dieting basically has to do with what you allow in or what you prevent in. So what content you are consuming, from music to books you're reading to videos you're watching, every single thing, what exactly are you allowing, even conversations that you have. Because one of the key mental workouts is actually intellectual conversations, where you pick a topic and you're actually deliberating on it. I will give an example very soon, maybe when I'm done talking about mental dieting. So what happens is you're feeding your mind, and the more you feed your mind, the more you have something to work on. It's just like the body workout. Yes, okay, this is beautiful. It's just like body workouts. If you're not eating well, if you're not maintaining the right diet, no matter the amount of workouts you do, it won't show. So you have to control the information you let in, and you have to be intentional about it. Just as you are intentional about the food you're eating, you'd see someone who is engaging in physical workout. They're taking protein shakes. If you see food they eat, they take a lot of protein. Why? So that it can help build up their muscles as they are partaking in this physical workout. In the same way, what kind of information are you getting into your mind? What are you exposing yourself to? Those are things to consider if you're going to have an effective mental workout. Okay, so I was talking about intellectual conversations. This is very related to mental dieting and mental workout. So I will just say it. It's also another kind of another kind of workout, but this kind is something you can actually integrate into your daily life. Maybe when you're talking with friends, when you're at your office. Like I remember when at the office we had a very, very interesting conversation, and we're trying to deliberate what exactly is intelligence. How do we grade intelligence? Is it all right to call a child a dummy? Is there anybody that is not intelligent, in quotes? So everyone began to share their own perspectives. People came with a lot of perspectives, but that opportunity, even if you had never thought of the topic before, at that particular point, your mind begins to work. Like, actually, what actually grades intelligence? intelligence. Then another question popped up. Does the school system actually grade the intelligence of a child? Now, these kind of conversations will boost you to think.
Mm.
Think. Instead of engaging in unnecessary conversations, you are being intentional, even in your conversations. So you can pick topics, even as a family, as a woman, let's say your children, pick topics that are relatable to them and talk about it. They are kids, but they have perspectives. And in doing this, you're not only helping yourself, you're also training their minds as they are growing. They are growing and building up their minds, whether consciously or unconsciously. It's building up their mind. So this is just a few things that would help in boosting your mental fitness. Or these are few workouts that if you implement in your life, it will actually bring forth results one way or the other.
Oh wow, this is really, really interesting. Sometimes we do some things without really knowing what we're doing and the effects of what you're doing. I think that's the advantage of this session. It now gives us more clarity on certain things that we may actually have been doing, but now that we know what the impact is for us, we can now do it more frequently. And that gets me to my next question. With regards to mental workout, how frequently should we engage in it? Just like how for physical workout, they'll tell you 10,000 steps a day, and I think about 15 minutes of exercise a day, those kind of recommendations to get results. How frequently should we partake in mental workouts?
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. For frequency, I would say, especially for someone, it depends on your mental goals, your mental, how you see, where you want to see yourself,
Okay.
right? I would advise daily, not doing everything at once, but you can have your simple workout plan. You can have a simple workout plan that you can work with every morning. It doesn't have to take so long. 10, 15 minutes is enough.
Okay.
Because of the fact that we work, maybe you're engaging in things at home, you probably are busy, wake up very early. Mom, for example, I've observed my mom a lot. Wake up very early, trying to get things ready to ensure that she can leave early enough. This is when we're home. Early enough for work, everyone can get to school. Now, as a mom, how do you even integrate this? These are some things that will pop up. But first and foremost, when you have a plan, you can actually integrate your mental workout. If someone that is involved in physical workout, you can integrate it every day. Like what I do mostly is, since I go to work very early, as I wake up in the morning, I'm done with my fellowship time. Sometimes my fellowship time spills into my mental workout, or as I'm engaging my physical workout, I do my arithmetics as I'm working out. What happens is I'm already engaging my mind. I'm already keeping my mind working. I can take solving problems in my mind, solving mathematical problems in my mind, right? And then, okay, as I'm doing the same thing, there's another part of mental workouts that actually is very, very powerful, which is visualization. I wish I had spoken about this earlier. It's visualization. So this can also help you in your day. How do you envision your day? What do you want to accomplish? So actually looking through your day, you're imagining, okay, how do I want my day to be? What are the things I have to accomplish? And then you're incorporating with your talking sessions. You can be doing it as you're maybe preparing food for your kids. Let me give you an illustration. You're preparing food for the kids, and then you have a target at the office, and there's a lot of pressure from your boss or from whatever, or from whoever, or maybe from your clients. You're working as you're working. I'm meeting my targets. Now, this is what I do with talking sessions. I'm meeting my targets. I have the ability. I can do everything. There's nothing that's impossible for me to do. Every challenge I face, I'm able to face it and overcome it. Now, what you're doing is you're actually teaching yourself. You're talking to yourself. And funny enough, a lot of people do not know that you hear yourself the most.
Yeah.
You actually hear yourself the most. And that's why they say what is most important is not what others think of you, but what you think of yourself. because you actually hear yourself the most. So the more you talk to yourself, what you're doing as you're talking, you're creating neural networks. Honestly, you are. You're creating neural networks. So the more you say, I'm facing every challenge and I'm winning. Yes, today might be full of challenges, but I'm winning. I'm winning. My mind is able to process solutions quickly. You're speaking to yourself. I have soundness of mind. I have soundness. I'm intelligent. I'm super intelligent. There's nothing difficult for me to comprehend. So all these things you're saying, as you're working, as you're doing stuff in the house, you're visualizing. Oh, as I step out today, as I meet my clients, I'm speaking the right words. I'm bold. I'm confident. All these things you're saying actually is doing something to your mind, whether you like it or not. So imagine doing this every day for 1 week. What happens is you will discover that when you face certain challenges or certain situations, your immediate response will be based on what you have been saying. Let's say I'm going to go through a workout plan, maybe so that we could know how to create one for ourselves that could actually work.
Yeah.
All right. So your mind has already been programmed that, okay, when I face this thing, I'm going to render solutions. Okay, I'm going to give another example. That recently I learned a particular pattern. I think I mentioned it on the group. A particular pattern of mental exercises. I read it from a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World by O.G. Mandino. And though he was saying it in a sense of boosting sales, because I engage in sales when I'm doing real estate, he said in boosting sales, but that's the beautiful part. There was so much wisdom in it. Now, for every time you read a book, instead of reading through the book and saying, yes, I've just finished reading this book, it's beautiful. But what you can do is to read a summary, have your own review, your own summary of what you've read, the things that actually meant something to you, that struck a chord, write it down. It's one of the reasons I love Dr. Miles Monroe's books. At the end of every chapter, bullet points. So those bullet points actually can help. So when you have it, you know that every morning when you wake up, if you can choose to have your reading time in the morning or in the evenings, depending on which is your preference. I like to read in the evenings when I come back from work because it's more, at least I'm more relaxed. I know I'm not rushing anywhere. So when I read, I take down notes, and then afterwards I meditate on this is what I've read, and I sleep off. The next morning I go through what I read last night. I just go through it. Okay. When I'm done, in the daytime, through the day, this also helps with, this is an exercise that helps with your memory, all right? Through the day, maybe towards midday or something, I sit down to recall what exactly was in that book. And since I also studied my Bible, I also try to remember, okay, what exactly did I study this morning? And this book, I'm like, okay, what were the bullet points in this book? Okay, you begin to recite, you try as much as possible to recall as much as you can. And once you do that, it's more like you're reminding yourself and you're training your memory. So towards the evenings, you can go back again and look at it. Oh, okay, this is what exactly. You go through it again. You realize that the principles of that book have more effect in you than on a normal basis where you read it through. Yeah. It has more effect, and it actually affects your life. That's where it's also a way to actually give your mind something to feed on, your mental diet, something to feed on. So you're actually building yourself. So I think in that particular book, I'll give an example. I had so much challenge. Now the month had gone in, I had not met my target. I had not even made a single sale, and there was a deadline. Now what happens is this book says, I will persist, and that was until I succeed. Now, I have said these things for days, almost a month. I was saying this thing over and over again, recalling it. Now, to a point where I'm not trying to recall it, I'm thinking about it. So when I faced that particular situation, my colleagues were downcast because no one had made a sale. My entire team had not made a sale at that particular point. But at that time, what really held me at that particular point was, I will persist until I succeed. I will delete every vocabulary of defeat. I will win. Now, this particular statement just began to come back again. And I didn't do it consciously. It came subconsciously. and I said, no, I'm going to go out. I'm going to win. So these things, what you feed your mind with actually matters a whole lot. And you can incorporate it in your day, your visualization in the morning and talking sessions. Very important. And then probably a cognitive, or if you're not into arithmetics, you can use English or something. And then through the day, you can also engage in crossword puzzles. I have a book where I do consistent crossword puzzles. Yes, it actually does help a lot. It helps with your vocabulary. So these are things you can even, now this is where your phone comes in. Phones are, you can even use it to your advantage or to your disadvantage. Download games that actually boost your mental ability. I play a game called Scavenger. This helps me to actually pay attention to details, to look for things. So what happens is you see numerous things, and then they have different things that you actually pick from. You actually look for them in that entire community. It's just like a picture. Another thing you could do is spot the difference. These are small games that, if you're engaging in frequently, it actually boosts your mental abilities. It actually attention to it will boost your attention to details. Maybe at work, depending on the kind of work you're doing, no matter what, it's going to boost your attention to details. If you're playing spot the difference. Then this other one, my sister does a lot. She calls the game 4 picks 1 word. I played a lot with her phone, but I don't know if anyone has 4 picks 1 word, where you see 4 pictures and then you have to think. Now this engages your mind. You're thinking critically. Okay, what exactly is the relationship between these pictures? So this actually really helps. There's a whole lot more, but for want of time, I'm just gonna hand over to you to go on with the questions.
Yeah. So with regards to the plan, you said you're going to
Okay.
a plan with us that we can work with.
Yes. Okay. With regards to the plan. Okay. If you're with a book, you're with a pen, this would really help. So I know we all have mental goals, not just mental goals, personal goals, because mental well-being actually affects how the habits you want to change, because habits are a result of your mind. It's not a physical thing; it's actually in the mind. So we're going to start with you're going to create your own. We call it affirmation lists, right? You're going to create your own affirmation list. What you want to be saying every morning. I'm sure a few persons might already have this, but you're going to create an affirmation list. What habits do you want to see? What are those habits you do not want to see any longer? Like, for example, procrastination. You want to get it out? Okay, you write it down. Just what are those things that you want to see in your life? And what are those things you want to remove? You can just write it quickly. I don't know if anybody's following, but just write it quickly. 3 things you want to see in your life, 3 things you want to remove from your life, or 3 things you want to change in your life.
Okay. Yeah, I hope we're all right. So. Yeah, I should have. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right, are we done?
Yeah, we can go on.
I can go on. Now, depending on what you wrote, I'm going to write the first few things. Something I've been working on for a bit, for some time now. Procrastination, and it says now procrastination is on the list. So I want to eliminate procrastination from my list, right? What I say is, okay, Maybe just pick one word or pick one particular thing on your list that you want to eliminate so that we can work together.
Yeah.
Then what is the opposite of that particular word? Like something you want to change. What's the opposite of that word? So write it down. Okay. All right. Now, have you written it down? Beautiful. It has to be an action word. All right. It has to be an action word. Now, that's the opposite. Now, I wrote for procrastination, I wrote action, right? I want to move from procrastination to action. So now what I would say is, I will act now. I refuse to delay. I will act now. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Action oriented. I'm action oriented. Yes, I will act now. So what you're putting, you're not writing, I refuse to procrastinate. You're writing what you want to see. So what you're going, so that when you're talking about it, when you're speaking to yourself, you're speaking what you want to see. And in turn, what this is happening is imprinting in your mind. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. I will, like for example, there's once upon a time when I was working on it, I will move against emotions. These are things I was saying, because from one affirmation you can get more.
Yeah.
I will act now. I will move against emotions. I will act irrespective of how I feel. Then this other one came up that says, I refuse to be subject to circumstances. I refuse to be subject to circumstances. Why? Because sometimes circumstances could cause you to procrastinate. So I refuse to be subject to circumstances. What do I do instead? I determine the outcome of things, no matter the circumstance. I use the circumstance to my advantage and determine the outcome. So what I'm doing is I'm telling myself what you will be doing. I'm actually educating myself on what I will be doing. So that is one. That's how you create your talking session. So the things you want to see, just put it, I will do this. I can. Now what you're doing, you're going to be using positive words. I can. I will. I have the ability to. So that's how you're going to construct your affirmation list. That's one. Now, your talking sessions, you're going to arrange it. Now, don't make it too long. Don't make it too long, all right? Because there's something about the brain. The brain, the brain loves to work. Whenever there's a focus, it works better. So don't make it too long. Maybe just 3 major affirmations per day. 3 major affirmations per day. And based on those affirmations, more things will come up. Why? Because as you're talking on it, as you're speaking about it, you're discovering, okay, like for example, I was just speaking with my mom, and then she said, I was telling her that these are words I always say. I'm a problem solver. I think on problems and I bring forth solutions. I think on problems and I bring forth solutions. My mind is able to think on problems and bring forth solutions. She now said, you could also say, I am compassionate. Because it's only from a place of compassion that you can see problems enough to bring solutions. And when she said it, I was like, wow, that never crossed my mind. But now I am compassionate. Therefore, when I see problems, I bring forth solutions and make lives better. So what are you doing? You're talking to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the first one. That's your meditation or your talking sessions. You create it. You're gonna actually create your talking and meditation sessions. Have a book where you write it down. I traveled from, I think I missed carrying that book. But have a book where you list out your affirmations. You can pick 3 a day, and you're talking on it. You're staying with it in the morning. What you're doing is you're programming your mind. All right. The next thing, pick your section. Like, what's that area that is your specialty? Are you a musician? Are you a math whiz? What is the area that works best for you? Now so that we could help you pick the kind of exercises you'll be doing to help your mind, maybe through the day, maybe as you're going through your work and everything, you have exercises that you're doing. So now, if you're someone that's into arithmetic, I have this game called Math Riddles. It helps a lot. It helps me with quantitative analysis. So it gives you some different sets of numbers and then you discover what exactly those numbers, like what's the flow, what's the arithmetic flow of these particular numbers. And then it helps you determine, okay, what the missing, because they'll put a question mark. So you determine the actual missing value. So you just have to, just what area is your strength? What area is your, it's the place that you find joy. Like, for example, I find joy in mathematics. For some, they might find joy in doing English-related stuff. If that's the case, that's fine. Then based on that, you pick your games. You pick the little things you'll be doing. Like, for example, if you're someone who is into English and literature, you can go with storytelling, reverse spelling, or spelling backward. You could also go with the 4 picks 1 word. It helps a lot. And there's this other one that recently popped up. If you're someone that loves the scriptures a lot, what you could do is, I'm sure you've heard about it, where you'll call a name, maybe three particular items, and then you determine which person in the Bible this is talking about, or which scenario this is talking about. So yeah, you could just pick things that actually interest you and get the games on it. I've given you a list of games already, so you can pick the one that actually suits you. 4 picks 1 word, scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunt, I think everyone should do it. It's really, really interesting. It's really fun, and it's really engaging, and helps to build focus. Trust me, it builds focus. Scavenger hunt, and then we have the biblical 4 picks 1 word. I think that there's an app called biblical 4 picks 1 word. You could have that on your phone as well. And many more. Just there's this other game. I will check for the name. It's more like you link in. I'm sure some of you might have seen the game. You actually have a picture, and then you need you to link the line. You need you to link the entire picture with one line. Have you seen that game before?
I've not seen
Okay, and let me see if I can get an illustration ready. Let's say, for example, okay, I'll just use a very simple one. This is, I don't know if you can see the triangle,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
There are more complex ones. This is just quite easy so that you can get the concept. So what happens is you start from a particular point, and the point you start in, the point A, must connect the entire shape without you having to stop. Do you understand? So if you're building, a boat, let's say something like this. Like something more complex, like I think we've seen, some of you might have seen it. I'm trying to use it so that you could see. You have to be able to link up and know, okay, this is how it goes.
I've seen this.
You've seen that? Yeah, I've seen that. Because I believe a lot of people have seen this. Yes, it's actually very cool. It actually helps. Yes, it actually really helps. It's a game that actually really helps. It's just that I've not been able to pinpoint the name of the game because I changed my phone.
What's the name of the game, and you can drop it on the community so that we could check it out.
Okay.
Wow, this has really been a mind-blowing session, in all honesty, and I believe everyone here has learned something. I can see the comments, and it's really been a lot of insightful things that you have shared. Before we round up our conversation, I have one more question. You know how when you are engaging in physical exercises, sometimes it's you get discouraged, or you lose that drive and that enthusiasm to continue, and sometimes maybe lack of accountability. Is that also possible with mental workouts? Are there times, is it that every time you do a mental workout, it's easy to just continue? Or are there some challenges that we would encounter whenever we engage in mental workouts? If there are, how can we continually inspire ourselves to stay committed to engaging in mental workouts?
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. First and foremost, like they will always say in physical workouts, be patient with yourself.
Okay.
It's not something that you start today and all of a sudden you're a guru in it. No, it takes consistency. It takes you being, even if what I would say is this: even if you miss a day, let's say you've decided, okay, I'm going to be doing this workouts 3 times a week, or I'm going to be doing this every day, right? And then you miss a day. Forget about the past. That's one major thing you should understand. It's gone, it's gone. But there are still more. Today is an opportunity. So why not pick up? So don't let any I call it consistency break. Don't let any consistency break put you down. Be patient with yourself. In time, you realize you begin to build up. You begin to even enjoy it so much. You begin to do it without even much thought. But you have to be patient with yourself. The other thing I would say is you could get someone who you're accountable to. Like, I joined this particular group recently, and it's an accountability group. Though I haven't really I've not really begun fully on the group, but I've been observing what's been going on. Each person is giving they do, like for their goals and all of that. You could include it in your goals and have some, because you have an accountability partner. So the person could actually help you. Oh, have you done your? Having someone who's got your back is actually very, very important. I think I got that from when speaking with you one time when I was talking to you about the things I wanted to work on. Accountability. Even get a fitness coach. Honestly, we have mental fitness coaches. It's just that it's not so emphasized. It's not so emphasized. And then, aside that, one other thing you could do is you could ensure that you make it fun for yourself. There are days you will wake up and you do not feel like doing it. Like, you could even forget. But make it fun for yourself in such a way that even if you miss the morning workout, you have your phone. You have some breaks in between. You could even create breaks in between as you work. It is not good to work stretch like that. So what you do is create breaks in between and engage in some games that actually help your mind. That actually help to build your mind. So don't eliminate the fact that, oh, I missed, so that's the end of it. You can do it. It just takes commitment and intentionality. When you have a plan, you'll be able to work with it. When you have a routine that you're working with, it will even help you better. So stick to your routine. From time to time, review it, self-reflect, review it, and then you keep at it. I believe that should really help. It takes a lot of patience, please. Patience. Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Peaceful, for this session. Do you have any final words for us?
Okay. I do have final words. Like, I would say that mental workout is not all about. It's not the entirety of. It's not the entirety of being fit mentally. It's a contribution. Not because you began to engage in mental fitness doesn't mean you would suddenly become mentally fit. There are other things that are actually contribute to your mental fitness. So try to do some more research. You can study about it. Read books. I could actually recommend a few books. Read books on how to and this is one of the books that really helped me, that actually begun my journey in mind management, is The Power of Your Mind by Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhilome. He spoke a lot about the mind, how you can reprogram your mind, and how you can actually feed your mind with the right content and actually block the wrong content from your mind. So some of these books, that's a book that really helped. Then there's another book by David Brooks, The Road to Character. Then we have another one, Altered Traits. That book is, I think you should actually it's a go-to. So Altered Traits by Daniel Goleman, Altered Traits. So if you're to just read books, read about mental fitness, get to understand, okay, what are other ways? And one of the other things I will tell you, only you know yourself. Only you know yourself. Only you know what works for you. Even because of time about stress and burnout and how mental workouts actually help with stress and burnout. But only you know you. So do frequent internal reflection. Participate in journaling. Journaling helps a lot. It helps you keep track of your day and helps you do an internal check. Okay, what are these things that happened? Why did they happen this way? It actually helps a lot. And then once you do that, you can be able to say, okay, this is something I can change. This is something I need to change. Like, for example, in physical workout, there are certain areas you
Yeah.
focus on. So you find out the areas that you know you're not so strong. If it is in emotional, in terms of emotions, emotional resilience, you can say, okay, I'm going to focus more on mindfulness, mindful meditations, breathing exercises, visualization, because visualization helps a lot with visualization exercise helps a lot with building emotional resilience. So you would know which areas to focus more on. I would advise you pick on each of those areas, but ensure that you identify the area that needs more work and
Mm.
actually pick exercises that would help you in that area. Do research. These things are everywhere. A lot of persons are becoming more enlightened about mental workouts and mental fitness. They're all there. This information is not new. So do more research and then you will learn a lot more and it will help you. Thank
Wow.
you very much, Ma.
Thank you so much, Peaceful. Thank you to everyone who has joined in on this live session. I hope you picked one or two things that can help you on your mental fitness journey in 2025. Make sure to practice everything that you have learned. And we'll be doing a brief summary of today's session and we'll put it up on our page. Also, if you're not following us on our social media page, please kindly do so that you could be updated on everything we do here at Women Lighthouse. Thank you so much and do have a lovely night's rest. Bye. Thank you, Peaceful.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so much, Ma. Very much appreciated.
Welcome.